Made up my mind to making a start, going to California. That's today's lesson, Going to California by Led Zeppelin. Hey jammers, how you doing? Welcome to TriedMusicStudio.com. So going to California, I'm doing this in standard tuning, not in an alternative tuning like Jimmy Page did. I like doing it there in standard. I think it's pretty, it's nice, it's easy. So that's what I'm doing, and I know this song is an alternative tuning, but we're going to do it in this nice, easy way here in standard tuning. So let's do a close-up. Okay, so let's get started. The chords here, Going to California is in the key of D, and the chords are D. There's a G, and there's going to be a G major 7, like so. Also a G6, which is just having the first string open and those two in there. And a G add D, or some people say a G add 5, so it's the second string, 3rd fret. Not the first string, we're not using it for that when we come to that chord. There's also going to be an A7, like so, and an A suspended 4, like so. There's an F in this song also. I'm going to be playing also a bar G besides a normal G, the open G, but a bar G. And there's a D minor that's going to be in the song. And last but not least, we're going to be there's going to be a D suspended 2. Let's, in case you don't know. Oh, and there's a D suspended 4 too, but the last one's going to be a D suspended 2. So if you know how to make a D for a D suspended 4, you're just putting your, you're keeping your D shape and putting your little finger on the first string, 3rd fret. And for the D suspended 2, you know, here's your D shape. You just lift the second finger off, so the first string is actually open. All right, so those are the chords. Now, the finger picking pattern that I'm doing here is going to remain the same throughout the entire song, this pattern. And what I'm doing is, I'm using what's called claw hammer style. Claw hammer, in that it looks like the claw that pulls the nails out and the hammer head to hammer them back in. Claw hammer style. I don't know if some people call this 2-finger style. That could be. I know it and refer to it as claw hammer. We're going here. I'm going into the inside strings, and I'm going to be in the second. I'm making the D chord. I'm going to be in the second string here with my second finger, and on the 5th string with the thumb. And I'm going to pick those two at the same time. Okay, and I'm going to go 1, and then I'm coming in. After that, I pick those two. I'm going to use my first finger, go to the 3rd string, and then I'm going to the 4th string with the thumb. So it's like 1, 2, 3. All right, and then after we do that, we're going to go with the second finger to the 1st string and pick that, and then back to the 2 middle strings, which is the 3rd and the 4th, and use the 1st finger again, and the 3rd, and the thumb, and the 4th. So I'm always coming back to the 2 middle strings, to the 3rd and the 4th string with my 1st finger and the thumb. every single time. What's changing is going back and forth between the first and second string with these fingers. Every time I do that, I'm always coming back to the third and fourth string. So I'm going, here's the whole pattern. So again, I start in the here, I go to those middle strings, 3, 4, first string, and go back to 3, 4. Like so. That's the pattern, the whole that I use for this, the whole way through the entire song. Now, it starts on this D, and there's like a little intro. And I did that 4 times, and what I mean by 4 times is if I go through that finger picking pattern, I'll count that as 1 time that I did that whole thing. And I'll need to do that in that little intro. I'll either do it 2 or 4 times before I start singing. It's all how I feel at the time. Well, you do the same. If you like doing it 4 times, do it 4. If you want to do it 6 or 8, go ahead. Do it 6 or 8 times. You know, just keep it going. As long as you like. Anyway, like I say, I do it about 4, and then I finally switch to the G chord. And this is where the vocals start. With the spent my days with a woman unkind. Now it starts with a G, and I'm doing that pattern here. But this time I'm starting on the first string, doing that, and I'm also getting the G, so I'm getting 2 Gs. See, I went back to those middle strings again. So that's spent my, I'm finished with the G. I now drop here to the first string, 2nd fret with my first finger. I lifted this one off, and I'm actually muting the A right there. That doesn't matter, we're not playing it anyway. Point is, I'm dropping from this G note here down 1 fret. G note at the first string, 3rd fret, little finger, to the first string, 2nd fret, 1st finger, which is a G major 7. Same pattern. I'm going to do those 2 chords. Whoops. And now I lift this off to open. See, I went back to those middle strings again. So the notes that are going here is, and then I bring the little finger in here on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, to the D note. Again with the little finger. And now I shift my picking hand over to get that 2nd string. But I'll do the same pattern. So I'm going to do that little section right there. Alright, and that's the part we're singing. Spent my days with a woman unkind. She smoked my stuff and drank. And you see, that was done twice. That whole G stuff there was done twice. And then it goes to a D. And I'm back to this pattern just like it was the same way I played a D in the intro. Except, so I'll do that 1 time like that D. But now I'll go here and add this little finger to the D for a D suspended 4, and I'll pick this and pull that off. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to do both Ds. Alright, one more time. There's the D. Alright, now it starts the next vocal part, which is Made up my mind to make a new start. Going to California with an aching. To the D again in my heart. Now the next is like 3 little lines there in this verse area. So this, I guess you could say, the third verse. And it's someone told me there's a girl out there with love in her eyes and flowers, D again, in her hair. So that D was done, those 2 Ds were done twice. So that whole G thing there was done with the G going to those Ds. Was done 3 times. Alright, next I go to an F, a full barred F. And I'm doing the same finger picking pattern. I'm starting with my thumb here is on the 6th string and my 2nd finger in the 2nd string. Pick them at the same time. And then go to those middle strings. So I'm going. And then I go to the 1st string, 2nd finger, and the middle strings again. So here's the F. Then I like to slide up to a full bar G. We could go to an open G. I'll show you the open first. That works, but I like to slide up to the full bar G because I like the sound of that. You hear that? That's nice. When I get up there to that G like that, I'm picking the 1st string and then lifting my hand off to get the open strings, because those 2 notes are in a G chord, so it just sounds neat, I think, like so. I just like that sound. I'm going to do that again. And then I'm back to a D and a D suspended 4, which I'm pulling off to a D. So I start in the D, D suspended 4, and I'm going to pull it off to the D. Alright, so I'm going to do that all over again, from the F to the G to those Ds. Okay, then it does the F and G again. And to the D again, but it holds just a D. That's what I'm doing. I'm holding just a D. Doing that same finger picking pattern. I hold that D for 2 to 4 times. Again, it's however long I feel like at the time. If you want to hold it 2, great. 4, 6, whatever. And so again, after verse 2 is over, this time we're not going to go to the F and the G thing, because the verse that comes in there that's being sung is that part that goes, "The mountains and the canyons started to tremble and shake. Children of the sun begin to awake." This is the part where he goes, "Watch out." Remember that in the song? Watch out. And that's on the D. And then we're going to a D minor. With seems like the wrath of the gods got a punch in the nose and it started to flow. Think it might be. And it's the same finger picking pattern as before. After that D minor, which is done, I think that was 4 times. Let me count that. Seems like the wrath, 1, but no, 2. Might be, yeah, it was 4 times, right? And then we're going to an A7. Now I like to make the A7 like this, which is actually a G7 form, even though it doesn't look like it, but it is. I'm not doing this A7, which is truly A7 form, but I'm taking my first finger and barring it at the 2nd fret on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string. And then bringing my 3rd finger down here in the 1st string, 3rd fret. And of course the A string, the 5th string, is open. So there's my A7. Same finger picking pattern as before. So again, it seems that Garathaga's got a punch in the nose and it started to flow. I think it might be A7 sinking, and then an A suspended 4. If you know how to make an A, just slide this up 1 fret so that you're on the 2nd string, 3rd fret with a 4. I think it might be sinking. Let's pick just one time with that pattern. Back to the A7 again, and the A suspended 4 again. So that's repeated a couple of times there. I'm going to do that whole section again. So it seems that the wrath of the gods got a punch in the nose and it started to flow. I think it might be sinking. A7, A suspended 4, A7, A suspended 4. D minor again. Throw me a line if I reach it in time. I'll meet you up there where the path runs straight. A7 and high. A suspended 4, A7, A suspended 4, and back to D. And again, you're holding that D 2 times, 4 times, however long you like, and you're going to do verse 3 now, which is the same as verse 1 and verse 2. All those chords, those G's and whatnot. And I'm going to do that. And we're coming to near the end of the song now, almost finished. So we're coming to the last line for the verse, and it's standing on a hill in my mountain of dreams, telling myself it's not as hard as it seems. Sometimes I say it's hard or nothing at all, and you keep that D going with that D suspended pulling off, and then it does the F stuff again. F to G, D, D suspended 4, F, G, and here comes the very end part. D, doing that pattern once, and then lift off for D suspended 2. D again, D suspended 2. D again, D suspended 2. And that's the part where you're putting in that or whatever you want to, ooh, la 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 la, whatever type of ending you like. Maybe you don't want to sing at all. And eventually, I'll just make the D shape and strum it to end. Okay, so something else we could do here, like for instance the F's, if you have a hard time with a full F, you could probably make a partialized, and then it's going to change the pattern a little bit here. Actually it's the same, but you're going different strings because you're only in the first, let's say, 4 strings. So you're going, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The middle strings now become these two, the second and third. So you could do that. When I'm making that D chord, I'm using the A string as my bass note. So I'm going. I'm not using the D. I'm using it's actually a slash chord, D slash A. So I'm using the again, the A string, the 5th string open one, and doing the D. So you see it's the same finger picking pattern. Now, something else that you could do if you want to try, I'm going to say tune the drop D tuning, or some people call it low D tuning, potato potato. Take the open E string and tune it down to a D. So you can, now we can use that as the bass note for the D. But it's the same finger picking pattern. But when you go to do the G, you got to jump way up here now at the 5th string, the 6th string, 5th fret, and then you got to begin playing like so. Spent my days with a woman unkind. She smoked my stuff and drank. So it's the same finger picking pattern. You're just staying on that G bass note is here right now since we dropped D tuning. How to bring it up to, since I dropped it down to. And then you just move this to those G major, and then G major 7 and G6 and G, add D. So this finger's doing all that work then. It just gives you kind of that nice full sound there, you know, with that drop D. So it is an alternate tune. It's just not like, you know, Jimmy is doing. Okay, so that's some of the things you can, the way I, you know, do this. There's certain times I feel like doing the drop D, so I'll do it that way, and other times I feel like doing it in standard tuning without the drop D. So it's whatever mood I'm in, I feel like is which one I'll do. And so you can do the same. I hope this helps you, as always. Thank you so much for watching, and please come back often and visit the website. We're putting more goodies there all the time. Hey, thanks guys. Bye-bye.